Welcome to the first What's for Dinner video of the year. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you are interested, I have linked some similar recipes down below. The first dinner I'm going to be showing you is some fried chicken tenders and some baked potato wedges. So I'm starting off cutting up my potatoes. I just used a couple of them. Here I am just cutting them into a potato wedge form. I just like to do it into thirds. I feel like that is the best ratio. I'm going to season them, so I'm just drizzling some oil on top and mixing it together. The seasonings I'm going to use are onion powder, a Cajun seasoning, and some pepper. I didn't use any salt initially because the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning has a lot of salt in it, so I just added some salt at the end. I make sure not to over season it before it goes in the oven because you can't go back, but you can always add seasoning at the end. So I'm just giving this a mix, and then this will go in the oven at about 375 degrees until I think the potatoes are done. I don't know why I use this pan. I just use whatever pan I grab. So now I'm going to get started working on my chicken. I'm just going to butterfly them in half. I like to have a thin piece of chicken to work with, and then from there I will just cut some strips. I did cut some extra strips so my fiance could take them for lunch the next day. So I'm gonna get started with seasoning the chicken. I use soy sauce. I completely swear by soy sauce for fried chicken. It just adds a lot of good salt to it. This is definitely not a healthy dinner, but I'm going to start seasoning the chicken with some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some Cajun seasoning. Next is to start working on the coating. I'm just going to crack 1 egg and a little bit of milk. I'm going to mix that all together and then add the flour. I'm definitely doing this the lazy way. Most of the time you would just take one piece and dredge it on its own. So I just started frying the chicken. I have my pot and oil set on medium heat the whole time, and it worked out well at this heat. So I'm just going to let these fry on both sides until they're nice golden brown and crunchy, and then I'm going to pick them up and drip off the excess oil. I try not to make fried chicken like this too often, but I love Southern food, so this is how it looked when it was done. The chicken was nice and crispy, the potato wedges were nice and seasoned, and then I just made some green beans on the side. The next dinner was probably my favorite meal of the week. I just love tacos Dorados. So I'm just going to start out with my refried beans. This is how I do my refried beans now. I just put the can in a small glass dish, and then I just top it with some cheese, and it goes right into the oven. It is a million times easier than cooking it in a pot, and you don't have to stir it. I highly recommend. So for the chicken, all I did was cooked it in my Instant Pot and just shredded it up. This is how I do my tacos. I just fold the torn tortilla in half with a mixture of the cheese and chicken, and I put them in oil to fry. Things just taste better fried. But I just let them cook on both sides until they're nice golden and browned, and they're pretty hard on the outside. And then I will pick them up and drain the excess oil out of these sides. These are honestly so good and so easy to make. You do have to get the corn tortilla to be a little bit more soft so you can fold them. I'm just going to repeat the process for all of my tacos. Once I drain all the excess oil, I put them on a wire rack to cool and just let all the oil come out. As I'm editing this, this is all I want to eat right now. These are also very filling when you've stuffed them with all the cheese and the chicken. So once they were done, I just topped them with a little bit of sour cream, some lettuce, and some guacamole. This is how they looked when they were done. This next dinner is just a little bit lighter. I just made some chicken, some seasoned rice, and a piece of garlic bread for my fiance. So I'm just going to start off with my rice. I add 1 cup of white rice, 2 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I also like to add just a little bit of dried parsley to it just for a little bit of color and aesthetic. I'm just going to make sure that I mix this all together really nicely. I'm going to bring it up to a simmer/boil, and then I'm going to put a lid on it. This is so simple, and it's just a nice spin on white rice, and it's so easy to do. For my chicken, I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to trim off the fat and then butterfly it again because I like to work with thin pieces of chicken, and then I'm just going to dice it up into small bite-sized pieces. So I'm going to get started on seasoning the chicken. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of oil on top. My favorite chicken seasoning is the McCormick Montreal chicken. I'm just going to use some garlic and herb seasoning and the Cajun seasoning. I'm just going to give this a nice mix, and then I'm just going to cook it on a skillet, nothing special. I'm just going to cook this until it's no longer pink and all the way cooked through. I also like to add a lid on top just to keep the moisture and some of the heat. And then I just made a piece of garlic bread for my fiance. This is how everything looked when it was done. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.